Well, my friends, I've made it to the WELE booth here at TIMTOS, and I'm very excited. One thing I learned, or three things I learned about WELE that's so exciting, are the incredible 7-year apprenticeship program, that the government handpicked the original ownership, and the fact that it's employee owned. So we're gonna find Joe, Texas Joe, the amazing Texas Joe, somewhere here on this booth, and talk a little bit more about the pyramid and the integration of where WELE comes into play around all of, well, I found Joe. I don't know how I missed him. This guy is supersized, you know what I mean? I'm a little guy, but bumping into you, Joe, is always a pleasure. How are you?
How you doing, my friend? Good to see you again.
Well, I'm very excited. Yeah, good to see you as well. And I am very, very excited. I kind of hopefully got the audience excited to learn a bit more about this group, this family that's created when it comes to WELE, because you and I have done a tour together. We talked about the three major aspects, which I just reiterated, but there's so much more to this story that they need to know.
Correct. The previous video, we just basically focused on the factory and the actual structure of the how that is put together. And there's actually, as you can see up there, you see WELE and JTEKT. How this works is actually we're all connected to Toyota Motors. Toyota Motors is our parent company. And below that, you have 13 companies, and those 13 companies, one of them is actually JTEKT. And below JTEKT, there's 80 companies plus, and WELE is underneath that lineup of companies. So there's the family tree along those two. So in our previous video, we said the company's family owned, but in reality, JTEKT has a 37% action on the WELE brand. And then the rest of it is all owned by the employees that work at the factory. And so that's basically the family structure of that.
That is impressive. I gotta say, I mean, when you think about the breakdown of that family tree, I thought I had a lot of people in my family.
Right.
Well, you said 80? 80? As it branches down, you got Toyota, and then it branched down into, what'd you say, 13?
There's 13.
And then 80 under that?
That is correct.
Wow.
And you know, JTEKT, there's a confusion because we changed the name when JTEKT originally was into 5 groups. Was Toyota Machinery, was the JTEKT Dry Life Systems, JTEKT Steering Systems, Koyo Bearings, and Koyo Grinders. Combined made up JTEKT. Recently, we changed all of them, those names, to be all one. So we're all under the JTEKT name. That's where it all comes together at that point a couple of years ago. So in reality, Toyota Machinery was based on the Toyota name with the D. A lot of people confuse that Toyota Motors and Toyota Machinery because of the letter. So a lot of people would see my Toyota logo and they would say, oh, that's misspelled. But we're now all JTEKT in a sense. So that's where we're at.
I gotta say, I was definitely one of those people.
Yeah.
Even when I was trying to hyperlink in the beginning of tagging you guys, like, am I spelling it right? But this is actually how we understand a bit more about where it all comes from, how it all integrates together, and how it all supports you when you think about, is a company gonna be around to take care of me? That answer is absolutely yes, and that integration helps. Now, let's talk machines, my friend, because I love machines, you love machines. Sometimes I miss being on a shop floor, and you have a piece here that's worth talking about. It's something newer, right? It's something we're excited to talk about.
Yes, I mean, currently WELE is demonstrating a 5-axis machine, and we can walk around on it, but they're integrating a pallet system. They're also integrating a tool management system. So we can actually take a look at this. We're hoping to win awards on this. WELE always seems to be winning awards at TIMTOS. They're very recognized to be one of the launch product, and it brings a lot of attention to the company as well. As we're walking around, let's talk about this machine. This is the pallet system. This one has an 18 pallet system. As we walk around in the controller, we can explain a little more into detail, because if you see it, you're saying, oh, it's just like any other pallet system. But this is actually developed, and it's manufactured and assembled and tested all from WELE, as well as we discussed in the previous video. As we walk around here,
can we talk a little bit, and I know we want to get inside the machine, and I know the tool management system is a highlight today, but can we quickly go over, Joe, because you and I come from the world of working on a 3-axis machine, moving to a 5-axis machine, adding automation to that, having it all vertically integrated within one company, but I still sometimes have that conversation with folks out there. When they think of automation, they think in their head, I have to run thousands of parts. maybe tens of thousands of parts. And although the conversation's being had more regularly now, it's still, I think, our responsibility to say, look, we might have, how many pallets did you say?
18 on this
18 pallets.
That is
That
correct.
can be 18 different jobs that can run you through nights and weekends, which continues to be that automation, or it can be 18 of the same job. It can be whatever mix and match, high volume. This is the creativity of the modern day automation, that it's not a robot that's repeating over and over again to give us the flexibility, right?
That is correct. And this is also needed because there's a global shortages of engineers, you know. So we have to become design products that could fulfill some of these missing elements of manufacturing. And me being in charge of Latin America for JTEKT, I noticed that even in those countries, this is becoming an important subject because of that lack, and now more engineers are needed ever. And I think this is an important part of what's coming in the future, is more and more companies. I'm talking about medium-sized companies. They're now more investing in it. The big companies will always have automation. They will always have efficiency. They will always run lean. And if you can offer a product at a fair price, or to the point to where you can compete in a labor with other countries, this is an important point to discuss, you know.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to bring that up a little bit because there's some people still having that conversation. Now, let's talk about what sets WELE apart when it comes to this world of how we can help people do better. Maybe it's more rigid, maybe we're all about that base, maybe it's in tool management, maybe it's everything's vertically integrated within one company. It can all communicate together. Whatever it might be, let's figure out what these differences are within WELE.
Well, on this particular product that they're demonstrating for TIMTOS 2025, they're introducing the UG630 AWC. This product right here has been out for a few months, but they integrated the pallet system, they integrated the tool management system, like a matrix tool magazine. But what's important about this is they also introduced the Heidenheim TNC7. All right.
I was just going to compliment the screen, actually. That's a gorgeous size.
It's a 24-inch size. And this actually is the mastermind of the whole machine. Even though this can control the whole components of everything that we'll be discussing about this machine, it also can be independently. Each system, the pallet and the matrix tool management, they also had their individual panels that you can actually, while the machine is working, you can actually, while it has the sensors and has the communications and has all of that, you can load the tools, you can load, as you can see, the load station is right next to the control. You can load your parts. All that helps together. So this new Heidenheim TNC7 is the next generation controller. The good thing about this machine is it has sensors that if it doesn't have a part, the actual pallet will move in and out faster. And if it does have a part, it has that sense that, hey, I need to slow it down. So it does have elements to that this helps anybody in the production. How can I keep this safe and not make sure I damage my machine? So that's an important key feature of this machine. One of many, of course.
I think as I hear more and more about the sensor opportunities as you describe it here, Joe, I think that's probably one of the evolutions that helps people win awards, right? Is understanding what's really happening inside these machines. And I'm seeing, you mentioned the screen is close, right? I see the huge Heidenheim screen. I see the one here, which is pallet. And then there's a third one on the other side, which we're gonna visit in a minute for the tool management. There's 3 separate areas. We really are keeping the machine running while being able to do our setups and breakdowns the entire time.
Right. The key importance of any manufacturing is keep that spindle running. You keep the spindle running, you're going to be making money, right? It's all about that. So yeah, this actual control, it's, smart, flexible manufacturing machining center. It helps you monitor and also control the parts that are going in and out. So with that, communicating with the TNC7 Heidenheim, it's a good combination. And this is also WELE designed and WELE developed and assembled. So to me, it's plus, win-win.
So let's walk over to the other side, because I know the tool management is something you wanted to highlight today, right?
That is correct. I wanted to highlight about the whole complete machine assemble.
Well,
and this is another key component that makes this whole machine valuable to actually explore, for customers to explore. This is WELE's own tool type magazine management. As you can also, it also gives you a somewhat image of the tool, what it kind of looks like. So even for those that, instead of having the T number, instead of having words or something, an operator can come see and say, okay, that looks like something that needs to be in there. So it's another safety feature. I look at it as a safety feature. The more you can prove it to make it simple for people to operate, the more confident they're going to be feeling to be using the equipment. Because again, it's becoming very difficult to find operators, very difficult to find engineers. So the simpler you can make it, it also helps with the training process. You're able to train a lot faster, a lot quicker. And those elements together, I think, make a key component to this whole thing right here.
Yeah, I would say that as I'm traveling around the world and I get to talk machining with you, Joe, and we bumped into each other in Mexico, I would say that the simplicity of how training must be in order for someone to understand how a machine works is very key. The fear that people have to try something new sometimes, or new technology, to go, okay, that's not something I'm quite as familiar with. So when I can step into something like this, or that hide and hide control, or the system as a whole, and go, I already feel like I'm at home, I already feel comfortable, and I was able to learn this in a short amount of time, that's another step that allows people to create success, instead of having a machine sit on the opposite side of the building not being used at all.
That is correct. I mean,
I have seen that.
A lot of times in this industry, it's becoming harder and harder to find good operators. And whatever you can do to help the training and simplify and expedite to the point where they feel comfortable running a machine, I think that's a win for the industry, no matter what brand. But WELE is staying in tune on the changes of the culture of the manufacturing world. So they look and they study and they communicate with a lot of customers. They take this information back, constantly thinking of what can I do to make it better for my customer. That's a key importance, because let's think about it. It's employee owned. The percentage that's left out outside of JTEKT. Every employee is an owner. So every employee is thinking of ways, how can I make this better for my customer? And how can they improve their manufacturing and make them more money and be competitive?